pleasure to lead you in our pre-service meditation. This is your time to be still and present and bring yourself to center for 10 minutes prior to the beginning of our Sunday experience. So find a place that is quiet, private, where you won't be disturbed, where you can be fully present and find your inner space. If you are in a seated position, place both of your feet flat on the floor, grounding into the earth. Sit straight with your spine erect but not uncomfortable. Allow your shoulders to fall down and back and your head to be erect but comfortable. Allow your eyes to close and receive the gift of breath, breathing in deeply through your nose, allowing the clean cleansing air to fill your body, pausing at the top of the breath, and then releasing through an open mouth. Pausing again once your lungs have emptied, and then again receiving breath, your belly rising, clean, fresh air filling your body, clearing your mind, and allowing you to be here now. Release that breath again through an open mouth and know that all is well. This is your time to set aside your to-do list, to set aside the monkey mind or the mind that tries to figure out what's next or how to proceed. All of that can come later. Right now is your time to be. Picture a white light shooting down from the heavens above, right to the top of your head, to your crown chakra. And this bright, warm light begins to fill your entire body, illuminating from within, connecting you to your source. Marvel at the oneness. This is always the truth of you, but it is so good to take time to be in this truth, in this knowledge, and to celebrate our oneness. In this space of quiet and oneness, sit in the simple silence. Allow your mind to be calm and quiet. Enjoy your meditation. Now, gently returning to the room, beginning to wiggle your toes and your fingers, and return to the presence in your body. You can allow your eyes to open and take another deep cleansing breath. Be grateful to yourself for taking this time to go within and be present, and also for joining us today for the Imani Sunday experience. We will see you soon.
Good morning, Imani. My name is Marcy Mitchell, and I'm a practitioner here at the Imani Center. I'm so glad that you joined us today for our virtual Sunday. We have a wonderful service planned for you. And so now, from wherever you are in your homes, in your yards, let's sing together along with our special musical guest today, Heather Clark.
Good morning. For my first song, I'd like to get your blood moving with a song that was written by the music director of the Center for Spiritual Living Davis, my home center, and his name is Billy Larkin. And the song is called I Expect to Be Blessed. 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 Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. Yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. 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 Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. Yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. 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 Put my faith to the test. Live life fully expressed. Yes, yes, yes. I expect to be blessed. I expect to be blessed. I expect to be blessed. I expect to be blessed.
Thank you, Heather. That was wonderful. We're so grateful to have you here today. So thank you all again for joining us at the Imani Center for our Sunday experience. We like to begin our Sunday experience by reading through our vision statement. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen for you right now. And so even at home, just say it aloud with me. Lighting the path to peace together. And so that is something we take very seriously here at the Imani Center. We have a lot of ways that we help to light the path to peace together. And one of them is our Imani Circle of Light. So our Circle of Light is made up of our practitioners and our ministers. There's about 13 of us, and we are standing ready to pray for you, to do affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatments, another way we say it. But however we say it, it's just an idea that we will be there to know the truth for you about who you are, help you through some challenging times, affirm with you things that you're looking to bring into your life, or things that you want to release from your life. And so you can reach out to us at any time, and we will get back with you in the way that works best for you. We can call, we can meet you if you're local, we can do a video chat or an email and send you a prayer treatment that you can read over and over. We'll work with you the way that works for you, but please do reach out if there's something that you would like treatment for. All right, so now we're going to take a few moments and go through our announcements. We have a lot going on at the Imani Center, beginning with a new month, the month of April, and a new theme, which is Living from Our Center. The schedule for April begins today with Reverend David Clark, who is joining us virtually. And as I said, his lovely wife, Heather Clark, will be providing the music. We also have on the April 10th, ministerial intern Mitch Austin. On April 17th, Reverend Pixie DeFore. And on April 24th, Reverend Sherry Wynn. And as I said, today we have the wonderful Reverend David Clark and Heather Clark. So it's going to be a wonderful Sunday. You'll be glad you tuned in. And we have a class that just began last week, but you can still jump in, and that is the Power of Prayer. This is a year one class taught by the wonderful Reverend Pixie DeFore. This will teach you the profound and simple steps for effective affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment and meditation. It's a great course on Mondays. So it goes from 6 to 9 via Zoom. So you can still jump in on this one. You can go to theamanicenter.org and go to our Discover Center there to sign up for this class. And we have another event coming up this week on Wednesday, April 6th, and it is called Wax, Wine, and Wisdom Wednesday. So that is with Sonia Peterson, and she will be leading you through creating your own beautiful candles. You get to choose your scents, and you get to pour them. There will be wine to sip on, and also you can bring some wisdom to share. So a quote or a poem or something that you would like to share, or you can just enjoy what other people share. So it's going to be really a lovely, lovely evening here at the Imani Center, April 6th, this Wednesday, starting at 6. You can sign up for that at theamanicenter.org as well. And then on Thursday, April 7th, is our Imani Rise and Speak night, and we have been looking forward to this. So this is the night that the folks who are in the Rise and Speak class and have been working on their transformational talks for weeks and weeks and weeks, they will be presenting these short talks that night for an audience, and they are engaging and heartbreaking and heart mending, and they will lift you up and make you laugh and make you cry, and you will learn things about some of the people here that you just never would have guessed. It's a way to connect on a deeper level, be entertained, and support people as they share these really heartfelt messages and talks. So don't miss that. It begins at 6:30 on Thursday, and it is a love offering basis. And then that is Mitch, who's doing that, ministerial intern Mitch Austin. He is also doing this workshop that will be at the end of the month on April 24th. And it's from 1 to 2:30. So it starts right after service, essentially. You'll have time to grab some lunch and then come back for the workshop, Empowered Communication, Strategies for Spiritual People. So this will be a really wonderful, effective workshop to kind of get you communicating better, speaking with the truth, speaking your truth with power in this workshop. So do sign up for that again at theamanicenter.org in the Discover Center. And is that our last one? Yes, it is. So now we're going to take a moment and bless the service. So wherever you are, just get centered. Take a moment to get centered and grounded. Put your feet flat on the floor, uncross your legs, your ankles. Sit up nice and straight. And if it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close as you receive a cleansing breath in. Filling the belly and the lungs. And then releasing that breath, blowing out all of that air. And then just pausing briefly before taking your next cleansing breath in. And so take 3 of these mindful, purposeful breaths as you become fully present, centered in this moment, in this sacred instant, because this now is all that is. And so this is the time where you can become aware, check in, become present, put aside all the busyness, the to-do lists, anything that may be pulling you from the sacred instant, from the now. Put that all aside to be picked up or not later. And right now, just focus on where you are. Just being present in this moment, in this sacred moment where we are one, completely connected with the divine and with each other, all in the one mind, feeling that connection and knowing that from this space we are divinely led, divinely supported, guided, fed. Everything that we need is here for us. We have only to turn towards Spirit and say, yes, thank you. Yes, I accept this. I allow it. I bring it into my life. Thank you. And so I know that today's service unfolds divinely. Everyone who is here in the space, volunteering, the practitioner, the speaker, the music, the tech team, everyone is fed and led divinely and lifted just by being here. And I know that everyone who needs to hear today's talk is hearing that little push, that still small voice within saying, tune in, listen to Amani today, time to go to church, time to show up, time to say yes to your good. And we all show up with an open heart, ready to receive, ready to hear, and knowing that our good is right here for us. And so I am just so grateful for the Amani Center, for all of the inspiration, the music, the connection, the beautiful space that we have to meet up in, to be together, to grow, to take classes and workshops and come together on the patio and laugh and tell story and just share and be in each other's company. All of this good that comes from this space, I am so grateful for. And all of the people who show up every Sunday, every event, every day with their high vibration, their open hearts, and they make Amani what it is, which is truly something special. So I am so grateful for all of it. I'm grateful to know that all is well and unfolding divinely. And I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done in the mind of God and therefore in truth. And it can just be released and allowed to be. And so I release it into the word and know it is done and all is well. And together we say, and so it is. And so now we'll turn it over to today's practitioner of the day, Angie Gann, for our affirmation.
Okay. Hello, Amani. I am Reverend Angie, and today I'll be leading us through the affirmation. We'll read through it 3 times. The first time with energy and enthusiasm. The second time we'll bring it down in our hearts and speak it in a whisper. And the third time, if you would just join me mentally, that would be wonderful. Let us begin. From the infinite mind, I easily choose and believe in the absolute best thoughts about myself. From the infinite mind, I easily choose and believe in the absolute best thoughts about myself. From the infinite mind, I easily choose and believe in the absolute best thoughts about myself. And this is from Reverend David Clark. And together we say, and so it is. Okay. And now we'll enjoy our next song from Heather Clark.
Life has taught me this. Every day is new. And if anything is true, all that matters when we're through is how we love. Faced with what we lack, some things fall apart, but from the ashes, new dreams start. All that matters to the heart is how we love. How we love. How we love. From the smallest acts of kindness, in a word, a smile, a touch. In spite of our mistakes, chances come again. If we lose or if we win, all that matters in the end is how we love. How we love. How we love. I will not forget your kindness when I needed it so much. Sometimes we forget, try to be so strong in this world of right and wrong. All that matters when we're gone, all that mattered all along, all we have that carries on is how we
Okay, so let's just take a moment now to gather ourselves, feeling ourselves present in our chairs, feeling our feet planted firmly on the ground, closing our eyes if you feel so led. As we do today's meditation, bringing our attention inward and upward as we come together in unity and community, leaving behind the ordinary and the mundane as we raise to our higher consciousness today. And we do some cyclical breathing today, breathing in to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding for a moment, breathing out to the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in again, deeply breathing in peace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding and breathing out to the count of 7, releasing and letting go of all that no longer serves you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can continue to do this breathing pattern throughout your meditation period. And we begin to notice and observe that when we do our breathing, we can connect to our place at our solar plexus, at our very center, where we learn to live from our center. And this breathing can bring you back to your point of center, where you are balanced, equal, evened out, with just the breath work. No one needs to know that you're doing it. No one needs to observe it. You can simply do it in your own time, in your own space. Maybe go to the bathroom if you want to do it in privacy, and bring yourself back to center. You can do this when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling tired, when you're just not feeling in the space that you would like to be in. This breathing can take you there. And so I invite you to take it into your meditation period. Enjoy your meditation. Remembering to breathe. And so staying in this space a little longer, we do today's divine healing as we take it from the individual to the collective globally, as we come from that place where we are at our center, still breathing into that place, filling our space with our own pure essence. We see our love and our light radiating from beyond that place of our core, of our center, sending it out, first feeling it circulate around our own bodies and our own energetic field, clearing anything that no longer serves, releasing anything in your own energy field that serves in any way as any block or any hindrance. We just let it fall away. We pay no attention to it. We just simply let it fall away. And so from that clear and clean place, we can send out that light and that energy and that essence. And we see it moving out beyond our bodies, out throughout our community, out throughout our country, out surrounding the globe and everyone in it. We see that it touches everyone without judgment. We see that everyone is deserving of that light and that everyone can be healed by being touched by that light. And so we send that to the area where war is happening, and we see all parties being touched by that light so that right-minded thinking may be restored, so that any thoughts of war may simply fall away, and all is restored and healed all around the planet. Illness, disease, war, anything that's happening that's not to the greater good of all of us involved. And we are so grateful to be light workers, showing the way, showing others through our own example and demonstration how they too may work with the light and serve the planet at this time. It is what we came for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And so we do this with great, great joy. And it is with a grateful heart that I release my word today, knowing that it cannot be returned to me void, as together we say, and so it is. And now back to Heather.
I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. And I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come and show the way. I believe. I believe. I believe above a storm, the smallest prayer can still be heard. And I believe that someone in that great somewhere, he is everywhere. Every time I hear a brand new baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know I
Thank you so much, Heather and Angie. Those were beautiful meditations and song. And so now it's my great pleasure to introduce a huge favorite here at the Imani Center, whether in the space or virtual, the wonderful Reverend Dave Clark.
Good morning, Imani Center. It is my great pleasure to be with you again today and to virtually see all of your happy faces out there. The last time I saw you physically was at the Daniel Namad concert, and that was a wonderful time. So I want to say congratulations to the Imani Center for putting on such a wonderful event. Today, I want to talk to you about lessons I learned about directing the creative process from one of Science of Mind's foundational pillars, Dr. Frederick Bales. And Dr. Bales had a very interesting life, especially early on, and I want to dig into that a little bit. Dr. Bales was born in New Zealand in 1889, where he studied to become a medical missionary. But at the age of 25, before Bales could complete his training, he was diagnosed with diabetes. And in 1914, a diabetes diagnosis was virtually a death sentence because they hadn't even discovered insulin until 1921. So the only ways they had to treat it really were going on an extreme no carbohydrate diet, and even that would only get you another few years. So the diagnosis was quite dire for young Frederick Bales, and he took it really hard, as you would expect any 25-year-old to take it. But there were a few reasons that he took it extra hard. Number one, he was fit at the time. New Zealanders are into a lot of sports, and Frederick Bales was no exception. I'm going to run down the list of everything that he did, of all of his sports. Okay, he golfed, swimming, tennis, cricket, football, soccer, bicycle racing, weightlifting, boxing, wrestling, hunting, fishing. He did all of that stuff. So he had a really good relationship with his own body and mind in order to be able to jump to all these different disciplines and to enjoy them all. That was the first thing he was dismayed. He's like, I'm fit. I shouldn't be sick. Number two, he had a good relationship with God. He found God. He dedicated his life to serving God as a medical missionary. And he was dismayed at the fact that he was wondering, what did I do wrong? Why is God forsaking me now? And I have dedicated my life to God. Well, a few weeks passed, and young Frederick picked up a book at his friend's house that would change his life. And it not only changed his life, but changed the course of his missionary work. Now, the book, written by Judge Thomas Troward, was not about physical healing in particular, but it outlined a principle flowing throughout the universe that takes our desires, our hopes, and our choices and condenses them into form. Sound familiar? Yes, this is the roots of New Thought, the basis of what we are studying today. And so, with this kind of framework of this principle, he began to develop a philosophy of living for himself. And the philosophy and techniques he developed and implemented into his life led to his complete recovery from diagnosis, from his complete recovery from diabetes. No more diabetes in his body, not detectable, and he attributes that to his manipulation of the creative process. And years later, he would go on to medical school, and he would observe mental factors that entered into the recovery of his patients. He noticed that certain fundamental thought patterns invariably produced bodily reactions. Bales discovered by encouraging his patients causative mental patterns towards healing, remarkable healings occurred as a result. Dr. Bales went on to become an accomplished metaphysical healer who would write many books explaining the mental techniques and healing methods that he used to heal himself and his patients. And Frederick Bales would later go on to meet the Science of Mind founder Ernest Holmes and eventually become the assistant dean of the Science of Mind Institute and also head the largest Science of Mind church of its time in Los Angeles. So he was a very important figure in this entire movement. And I was introduced to the writings of Frederick Bales in his book, Hidden Power for Human Problems. And in this book, Bales goes into a great amount of detail about how he cured himself of diabetes. And that is what I want to focus on today's talk right now, is taking a look at his process. And at the time, he had developed a 3-step method for directing the creative process. So I'm going to go over those 3 steps. I'm going to tell you the 3 steps now, and then we're going to dive into them a little bit. And we're going to hear from Bales. I'm going to read a couple of passages from the book that exemplify the way that he developed thoughts that would eventually heal him. So the 3-step method for directing the creative process is, number 1, we must understand creative law. Number 2, we must form the correct image. And number 3, we must release the image. So, let's get into this. So number 1, we must first understand creative law. We need to know how it works, and we need to know how our acts fit into its workings. Bales calls the creative law the servant. And it is through love of God and creative law that obeys. And that's all that it does, is obey our thought. Through both of those, we combine to bring about our good and to manifest what we see in our lives. So here's a little passage from Bales. I let my thought move out to the vastness of space, as though there was no such thing as a pancreas. With that, I have nothing to do. I consider the heavens, the ceaseless movement of those tremendously heavy bodies which are being drawn through space with sublime ease. I think of the resistless flow of spiritual currents that are at this moment guiding, directing, controlling all of the mighty substance of the universe. I lose myself in a sense of the vastness of that force. It is here that Bales describes a power that is so much bigger than himself that he just doesn't know how it works. It just works. He can see it work, and he knows that it's an irresistible force. And so that is the force that we're dealing with. That is the power that we're dealing with, the power that moves the heavens, the heavenly bodies, the power that just, that everything is subject to. So number 2, this prepares us for the second step. Now that we understand creative law and we understand the force and the power that we're dealing with. Number 2, we must form the correct image. We have to give the creative process something to work with. So we're dealing with infinite mind, which contains all thought, everything. And what we're doing is we are extracting from that infinite mind the perfect image of what we want. And it sounds complicated. How do we pull, the images out of the infinite mind? How do we gain access to the infinite mind? Well, you're using the infinite mind right now. Every thought that you have, every thought that you have ever had or will ever have is in the creative mind. So we're in constant contact with the creative mind. So how do we pick and choose a thought to pull out of the creative mind? Well, for that, I got a little exercise for you. So close your eyes and picture in your mind that I am wearing a white t-shirt with a big red heart on the front of it. Not this shirt that I'm wearing. Picture a white t-shirt with a big red heart on it. So is that picture in your mind? Okay, if it is, then ask yourself, where did that image come from? I have never worn a white shirt with a big red heart on it. So it's nothing that anybody has ever seen, ever. Where did you get that image from? Well, you pulled that image from the infinite mind that has all possible thought in it. It's that easy to extract a thought out of the infinite mind. And if you can picture me wearing a white t-shirt with a red heart on it, what else might you be able to picture from this mind, from the infinite mind? Now, we have the urge to pull doom, especially when we're in trouble, when something's gone wrong. And all of the images that we can pull that come out in our mind are images of, things going wrong, illness, this is wrong, this is gonna go wrong, this isn't right. And so those are the only images that we pull out. But those aren't the only images that are there. Those aren't the only thoughts that reside in the infinite mind. And so it's our responsibility to see in our minds the condition that we want. And that is the condition that we'll see. Health, happiness, wholeness. So this allows us to see ourselves as healed because the perfect image of our healing is in the infinite mind right now. We just have to pull it out, put it in our minds, and know its truth. God's thoughts are potent and productive. When we think anything, we are thinking with God's mind. We are thinking God's thoughts. So our thoughts are creative, are potent, and productive. And we can select what thoughts we want to dwell on. So, number 3, we must release the image to the creative law. Bales calls the creative law the servant. Give your image, your mental image of health, your mental image of perfection, of wholeness, of happiness. Give that over to the creative law. Give it to the servant and let the servant work with it. Okay? The servant is there to serve you. So we must take this image that we have carefully crafted, give it over to the universal mind, to the creative process to start working, and we release it. So I want to read to you another passage from Bales, and this is the picture the thought that he pulls out of the creative mind to address his diabetes and to heal himself of his diabetes. And here is the thought. No longer do I let my thoughts hover around a pancreas as a physical organ. I think of each organ as an idea of the infinite, conceived before I was conceived. It is one separate and distinct idea of God. All of God's ideas are perfect. I refuse to think of it as having a blot, a blemish, or inaction. I see it as the willing servant of me, the thinker, and this, my thought, is now being taken up by the universal thinker and brought forth into actuality. Not being an organ, but an idea. It is a perfect idea now. I do not care what the laboratory shows. I now take God's view and see all of its ideas as being perfect, and it is so. So you see here, he has formed an argument in his mind, a perfectly rational argument in his mind that dissolves malfunction. It dissolves imperfection and reveals the perfection underneath. And so the only thing to do after that is to let it go. Not to keep returning to it to affirm its existence. Now we're affirming something else. We're affirming our health. We're affirming our unity with God. We're affirming that there is no problem that's outside of the reach of God, outside of the influence of God. We're also affirming that God creates only perfection, and that the thought of this pancreas, the beautiful, wonderful, creative thought that is this pancreas, is perfect. And so, he let that go. He let it go with a very simple thought. I'm glad God has this. I'm glad that God is taking care of this. I'm glad it's no longer in my hands to worry about. Now, we do what we do after that. Sometimes God takes us to a cure. Sometimes God cures it all on its own. We don't know what God is going to do with it. We just know that our thoughts of perfection, of health, of wholeness are acted upon immediately by the loving God. So then we just let it go. And that is how the process works. And that's how it worked for Bales. And eventually he was healed. Now it took some years. But instead of his condition slowly getting worse, slowly deteriorating his body, the condition itself started to fade and fade and fade. And eventually it was gone. And when he was taking a job later on and he had to get life insurance, the life insurance company, they put you through a rigorous test. And they knew that he had a diagnosis of diabetes and they would not give him insurance. But he said, look, test me. It's gone. And so, because there's money involved, that they put him through a rigorous testing and tested his blood sugars and tested everything that they knew about the disease, and they could not find it. And so off he went to have more adventures. Off he went to meet Ernest Holmes. Off he went to lead the Science of Mind church, the Science of Mind movement. So it's amazing. And so I want to leave you with some homework. Search yourself and find a problem that you don't know how to deal with. Find a problem that you don't think can be solved. And know the power that you're dealing with. Pull out that image from the infinite mind of health, of wholeness. And Bales is a great writer. Ernest Holmes is a great writer. Thomas Troward was a great writer. You don't have to be a great writer, a great poet, to pull an image of perfection out of the infinite mind. You can say something as simple as, God is all powerful. God has power over this condition, and I give this condition over to God to reveal its perfection. To reveal to me its perfection, its wholeness, its completeness. I give this condition over to God to be cured and to be fixed and to be handled. That's all you have to do. You don't have to create a wonderful poem. You just have to know the truth of God and the truth of your connection to God. So for your homework today, find that condition and give it over to the mystery of God. Know the truth of it. And know the truth that God is always with you and within you. And always remember that God loves you. And let's take that into prayer. Let us go inside. Inside to that place of peace, of quiet. That place beyond all condition. The place beyond our aches and pains. The place beyond our worries and fears and doubts. Deep into that place of peace where there is nothing happening but the enjoyment of being one with God. That place resides in you. And it is from this place that we know the only thing that we need to know. There's one. There's one. One spirit, one guide, one consciousness, one mind. And this mind is all powerful. It moves the planets. It moves the protons and neutrons and electrons and makes sure that everything, that all of existence is held together into one existence. And as I am part of this one existence, I know that I am part of God, that I am an important, loved part of God, of the infinite. And as I know this about myself, I know this about everyone that's hearing my voice now. I know this about everyone that is walking this planet now. I know this about every conflict that is happening in the world now. Everything is happening within this one consciousness. And I know that this one consciousness is the source of all peace, of all joy, of all beauty, of all wisdom. I know that this consciousness is the birthplace of all principles of good that we have. And so I know that I am comprised of principles of good. I know that good is flowing through my veins. I know that good is at hand. And I know that the goodness of God is working its way through all my affairs, through all my conditions, through the entirety of my life. I know this for me, and I know this for everyone. That God is real, God is true, and God is here now. And so I take this knowing and I apply it to all points in my life, to all of my happiness and to all of my sadness, to all my joy and to all of my suffering. I know that I am never separated from God. And it heals my suffering. And it makes joy my default state. not something that I have to pursue, but that I get to wake up in every morning. Joy, peace, love, beauty, wisdom. And so I am thankful to know this truth. I'm thankful to know it, and I am thankful to release it. I don't have to worry about how it's being proved to me, how it comes out, how it appears. I don't have to worry about any of that. The only thing I need to do is know it. And then I will see it. So I release these words into the mind of the universe. I release all of my cares. I release all of my conditions. I release everything that I think is not right into the mind of the universe to reveal its inner perfection and to reveal our connection. And so it is with this gratitude and it is with this joyful release that I let these words go. And let us all let these words go with the words. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dave. It is so wonderful to have you here, and congratulations on your ordination, Reverend Dave Clark. So now it's time for our joyful time of giving, and so this is our opportunity to support the Imani Center. So there are a lot of ways you can give online, and I'll just kind of briefly go through them. You can text the word Imani to 44321. You can hit the donate button that is in every one of our newsletters and our email blasts. You can hit the donate button that is on our website, theimanicenter.org. You can use your bank app and you can set it up for a one-time donation or a weekly donation, whatever works for you. And you can also still mail us a check to 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite Number D in Cameron Park, California, 95682, and we will gratefully receive that as well. There also should be a link that's being dropped right now in our Facebook feed. So if you look down, you can click on that link and follow it, and that will guide you through donating. So however you decide to give, we just appreciate you so much. We truly cannot do it without you. So thank you, Imani. And now I will turn it over to Reverend Angie Gann, who will do our treatment for our Divine Time of Giving.
Okay, so let's join together one more time, closing our eyes as we prepare for the joyous time of giving. Let's just close our eyes, coming inward once again. As once again we see that place of our core, our very center. And we see that being a power point within our being. And from there, we create. Our creations begin in our minds as thoughts, and then they move out in actions and behaviors, and they become our reality in this way. And so today, we create a financial reality for all of the fellowship, all of those hearing my voice out in computer land, wherever you may be, however you may be hearing me. We see this abundance going out. We know that abundance is a frequency. And so we raise our frequency and we tune into that frequency. And we know that we can co-create from there whatever it is that we need in this life. It already exists. We need only to claim it, only to speak it into being. And so we speak it into being for the Imani Center as well, as we see new sources of income coming in from new and unexpected places. We see the financial situation fulfilling its needs so that we may continue to be of service and to serve in the community and in the world at this point in time. And so as you hold on to your tithe, put a special thought, an extra special thought and intention into it, that it may serve and that it may benefit all who has the need. And so it is with great gratitude that I release my word as together we say, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
Thank you, Heather. It was so wonderful to have you here at the Imani Center. You are welcome anytime, so we would love to have you back singing in the space. You and your wonderful husband, Reverend David Clark. We love you both. We will see you again soon. So now it's time for our closing song. So wherever you are, let's sing together. Stand up, bring that energy back up, and let's sing The Presence is Here together. We're going to bring the words up on the screen for you.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
So thank you so much, Imani, for joining us together. Let's just do a final benediction, knowing that we are blessed and connected wherever we are, and that we are all on our perfect divine path. So keep walking, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and know that all is truly well. Namaste, Imani.